This is Cronkite News.
Monuments and symbols of the Confederacy being brought down all across the country. Hear from the White House on this topic and the push to make changes here in Arizona. Also, ASU's Spencer Torkelson was selected as the #1 overall pick in last night's MLB draft. We have the story on how he will be hitting homers in the big leagues next season.
Cronkite News starts now.
Welcome to this Cronkite News Update. I'm Abigail Verwick. Thank you for joining us. Our top story tonight, efforts to take down monuments to the Confederacy and slavery. People are calling to rename nearly a dozen military bases named after Confederate military commanders, including Fort Bragg in North Carolina and Fort Wood in Texas. Efforts were shut down by President Trump Wednesday when he took to Twitter to express his disapproval. Press Secretary KAYLEIGH McENANY explained more.
He believes that these bases are most notably identified by the heroes within it, by the acts that they did in winning 2 world wars and defeating anarchy, defeating fascism across the globe. That's what these bases stand for, not the names on them.
The debate of renaming Confederate bases and monuments has gained momentum in Arizona. Arizona currently has 6 Confederate memorials across the state, including one at the state capitol. Arizona Secretary of State Katie Hobbs asked for the monument of Confederate soldiers at the state capitol to be removed. Local Arizona residents want to make their voice heard in the movement to remove these symbols.
Why am I losing my voice over a Confederate monument in a state that had nothing to do with the Confederacy?
The removal of this monument, it's not going to solve any problems, but it will make a strong statement about the leadership of the state and the priorities, and I think would be an important gesture. This is not a monument that is specific to an event or any individuals. And in fact, it's honoring the losers who basically committed treason against the United States in defense of the practice of slavery. And it really does not have a place in Arizona. We weren't even a state at the time it was that the war was fought.
Arizona was a territory at the time of the Civil War. The westernmost battle of the Civil War was fought near Picacho Peak, northwest of Tucson. The conversation of the removal of the Confederacy symbols is on the fast track, with NASCAR announcing the ban of Confederate flags at events. The statement read, "The presence of the Confederate flag at NASCAR events runs contrary to our commitment to providing a welcoming and inclusive environment for all fans, our competitors, and our industry." Drivers like Bubba Wallace praise NASCAR for its stance and stand in solidarity with the decision. COVID-19 cases have significantly increased from yesterday. 1,412 cases have been reported in the past 24 hours. Governor Doug Ducey talked about the increase at a news conference today. Over the past 2 weeks, Arizona COVID-19 cases are increasing by 211% to nearly 30,000 total cases. Ducey said today that there are enough hospital beds to treat those who may need them. He says, while the number of positive tests have increased, so has the testing. Ducey says he plans to increase testing, contact tracing, and is checking daily on hospital capacity. The state health department is still asking people to physically distance, wear a mask, and wash their hands frequently. Residents who live in the area of the Bighorn Fire near Tucson are being told to evacuate. Fire crews are starting a backburn to try to protect homes in the foothills. The fire is said to have burned more than 4,700 acres in the Catalina Mountains. Cooling shelters are set up for residents at Canyon del Oro High School. Standout ASU slugger Spencer Torkelson is headed to the next level. Cronkite News reporter Jackson Lauderay follows his journey to the show.
Number 20 is headed to the show. The Detroit Tigers selected Spencer Torkelson #1 overall in the 2020 MLB draft. Torkelson becomes the 4th ASU baseball player drafted #1 overall, joining Rick Monday, Floyd Bannister, and Bob Horner.
Oh, it's unbelievable to be, in the same conversation as those amazing players and their careers is it's special, and you got to realize that it's just a start because they did more than me. They might have gone first overall, but they went on and were successful, and that's my next mission.
His career at ASU was nothing short of mesmerizing. In his 2.5 seasons, Torkelson mashed 54 home runs, 3 shy of the ASU home run record held by Horner. But he didn't stop there. Tork also broke the ASU freshman home run record, held by Barry Bonds. He led the Pac-12 in home runs all 3 years in Tempe and was a Golden Spike semifinalist twice.
Be like you're something, I don't know, you put those little dashes and number signs and exclamation points, crazy if you don't take him number one. How's that?
We saw Tork, and about 5 minutes into it, he goes, I really like this guy. I go, yeah, me too. We saw the power. We saw the athleticism. We saw the plate discipline. We saw the defense. I mean, he's just kind of the total package.
The Tigers drafted Torkelson to play on the other side of the field, at third base, to the surprise of many who watched Torkelson play first base during his time as a Sun Devil. It was not to the surprise of Tigers Hall of Famer Alan Trammell.
Saying Spencer Torkelson third base, that's a compliment to Spencer. And again, if it doesn't work out, we know he can play first, but it can help the organization if he can. And so we're definitely going to give it a shot.
Going undrafted out of high school, the second, 5 minutes after the 40th round ended on the third day in 2017, I called up my uncle, called my buddies. I was like, let's go hit at Casa. I just want to try to hit balls as hard as I can and, get over this because I told myself I'm going to be a first rounder out of ASU.
And for number 20, that prophecy has been fulfilled. Jackson Latteray, Cronkite News.
Torkelson was just the first ASU player to go off the board this year. ASU shortstop Alika Williams was also drafted at the end of the first round. For Arizona news updates throughout the day, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and find us online at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.